Good evening and welcome to game number 4, the final quarterfinal here for the 2019 OCAA Women's Soccer Championships. This one between two Toronto-based teams, the Humber Hawks and the Durham Lords. The number 4 ranked Hawks against the 5th ranked Lords. The reigning silver medalist Humber against the bronze medalist Durham. So one of these teams will be going home empty-handed after receiving a medal just last year. Very exciting game to finish off our quadruple header, between Durham and Humber. Now with the ball is Durham on that right side. Number 15, Corey Lapointe, looking upfield toward Hadenstein, cannot quite reach her. And now right away Humber on the attack. Number 20, the intended target, Emma Stushnoff. Now taking the throw, Lily Campbell out of Erin, Ontario, the second year. Looking for Stushnoff, taken away by Durham and just put out of play, Emily Coons. Again, Stushnoff, the target, is able to go back. Now to the feet of Tori Villar. Kat Medeiros goes far side to Taylor Thompson. Thompson finds Becky Spratt. Thompson making that run to the far side, ends up leaving the ball, and it'll be a Durham throw.
Well, Zach, this is the game I've been looking forward to most all day. Two powerhouses, essentially, both in the top 3 last year, both going home with hardware. The fact that they're matched up this early in the tournament means somebody's going home empty-handed, which is really exciting. Speaking to the coaches ahead of the game, a lot of respect from either side. Both teams are taking this really seriously, and they plan to bring everything that they've got.
Absolutely. Humber and Durham, like we said, both medalists last year. One of them can't go home with a medal. The winner of this game will be going on to face the Seneca Sting, who recently took down the host Royals 4-0. The other semifinalists include Fanshawe and the Sheridan Bruins. Dom Phillip getting her first piece of action. Becky Spratt finding Medeiros. Thompson looking for Piazza. A free kick given to Humber in a challenging zone for Durham, right inside their final third. Julia Zanardi looks to be the one taking it for Humber. You wonder if she's thinking for a goal. 3-man wall for the Durham Lords. Zanardi taking a look at net, but it will go well over. And another goal kick for the Lords ensues.
Humber with a little bit of early pressure here in the match, but on paper, these teams are nearly identical. Similar goals for, very similar goals against averages. I think this is probably the best match to really gauge the strength of the East Division versus the strength of the West.
Currently the West are just 1-1 in this tournament. Carrington Steed, the goalkeeper for Durham, picks that up. She's going to look downfield. Taylor Thompson, lots of room in front of her. And that pass intended for number 11, Becky Spratt, is intercepted, but Humber is able to regain possession once again. Piazza looking at Villar, but Durham does a good job of getting that. Emily Coons going ahead to Corey LaPointe. Bullar. Mackenzie Berry, one of the two captains from the back end. Mackenzie Berry as well as number 2, Bailey Colangelo. Mackenzie Berry taking yet again a throw for the Durham Lords, slowly making their way up towards that Humber end. Looking at Hasenstein. Now it's going to be Ferreira coming into the play, but she loses possession. And now Humber look to attack once again. Ferreira, the intended target once again, still has possession with space in front of her. Ferreira. And right in her way was Dominica Phillip. Spratt going back to Zanardi, but dispossessed by Durham. Piazza has space in front of her. Quickly on her was Vanessa Juris, but still Humber with possession. Medeiros with a smart ball now to Becky Spratt with room in front of her. Cuts in towards her left, looking for a ball that would send her teammate Stusnoff through, but not on the same wavelength, and Carrington Steed takes possession of the ball. Piazza the first to get to that one, gives that back to the Durham side, but Durham does regain possession. And now it's Juris trying to get that to stay in play, just out of her reach, and it will be a Hawks throw. Becky Sprout with room in front of her. Now is Stusnoff. And just taken out of the danger area, Shannon Brown elects to go towards the touch line. It will be a Humber throw from a dangerous area. Julia Zanardi taking that one for Humber. Out of play by Mackenzie Berry. Strong touch that time by Rami Pelletier. Dom Phillip at the back taking control of that one for Humber, passing it amongst themselves now with Piazza once again, but quickly swarmed by number 15 in green, Corey LaPointe.
Lords lining up today in a 4-1-3-2, slightly unconventional, but likely due to the fact that they've had an absence filled for 4 weeks with Jessica Ferreira coming back. Coach talking really highly of this player. His term was she could be a difference maker in this match. He really likes his chances with her in the lineup. A couple other comments that he brought to our attention is that he really feels strong about his goaltending, which against Humber you have to be. They take a lot of shots, almost the most shots in the league. They look to score, which has always been their style. Humber lining up in a more traditional 4-3-3, maybe slightly more attacking. Maybe it's indicative of the coach's thoughts about his chances today.
Absolutely, and that coming from the head coach, Alex Bianchi of Durham, who is a CCAA Coach of the Year nominee. Didn't win the award, but certainly just to be in that category is something to be proud of, and Bianchi, one of the top coaches all across the nation. Now for Durham, Mackenzie Berry taking the throw. Looking for Hasenstein. Humber appealing for the handball. Doesn't get it from the head referee. Hasenstein still with possession. Looking for fellow striker Rudder. Can't find her. Zanardi looking at Number 14, Lily Campbell, trying to send Belair through, but cannot do so. Hadenstein looking for LaPointe. LaPointe, a nice move to get by Lily Campbell. And now Zanardi with possession in the middle of the field. Medeiros looking long, and now it is a break. Now for Humber's number 11, Becky Spratt, cuts towards her left foot. And Claudia Piazza leans back a little bit too much and well over the goal.
Great ball movement by Humber there. Seeing the opportunity to cross the field, Spratt immediately does two-touch right back into the box for a scoring opportunity. There wasn't much in the chance on net, but the way they're moving the ball is indicative of the strength of this team.
Carrington Steed, the Durham goalkeeper, is looking for LaPointe, can't find her. Now it's with Lily Campbell. Stushnoff going towards the middle of the area. Medeiros will have a crack from well outside the penalty area. And once again, Steed will watch it sail by her goal.
And once again, you see that smart soccer by Humber. Quick turns, quick touches, seemingly not an opportunity, and they're able to create something out of nothing to get a shot on net.
Humber really pressing, not a whole lot of options, and it's going to go right to the foot of Becky Spratt. Becky Spratt once again going to the left, looking for Lily Campbell. Tori Belair, that pass is going to go just over her head and out of play for a Durham throw. Humber really controlling a lot of the possession, a lot of the attacking numbers, but still 0-0. Ferreira can't handle that throw and will be switching possession now with Humber around mid-pitch. Spratt finds Thompson, the right back for the Hawks. Thompson with space in front of her. And it'll be a corner for the Hawks, a long run by the right back, Taylor Thompson.
Well, sustained pressure from Humber. Durham's able to get the ball out, but they're not really able to transition it into a counterattack, which is something that the coach said he had hoped that he could use his speed to do. Humber's collecting that ball, moving it really nicely, and they haven't had that special scoring opportunity yet, but you start to see the foundation of their game that could easily lead there soon.
Thompson's corner, a low one, but a dangerous one as Humber is not able to put that one away. Just whistled by that far post. I don't think Carrington Steed made a play on it, but a couple of white jerseys were right there. Just could not get a toe on it. Anything could have directed that towards the goal. Great opportunity once again by the Hawks.
I don't know if anybody really knew where that ball was going. It wouldn't have been a pretty goal, but that wouldn't have mattered. It would have been a goal nonetheless.
Steed fortunate to be kicking it off of her 6-yard line. Hadenstein can't handle that one. She'll get it right back from LaPointe. Hadenstein finds Emily Coons looking towards her left back. Now with it is Vanessa Juris. Shannon Brown looking for Juris. Doesn't get to her right away, but eventually does get to Juris' feet. She will give it right to the Humber Hawks defense, and they will be able to set up a play once again. Stushnoff. Taylor Thompson finds Piazza. And right to the feet of Juris.
Well, you can tell the pace and the control of the game. Just the first touches, the cleanliness of the passing is a lot crisper than some of the other soccer that we've seen today.
Taylor Thompson with possession on that right back. She goes to Piazza. Heavy touch by Piazza, and all of a sudden now Durham could be through. Michaela Rutter, but out comes Vanessa Fiore getting her first touch of the game. Zanardi. Zanardi still with possession, but a good battle and eventually won by Emily Coons. Kuhn still with possession in the midfield. Hadenstein looking for Rudder, but easily picked off by the Hawks. Medeiros. Piazza has options. He elects to go to Lily Campbell with space on that left side. A shot right away, and Carrington Steed dives towards her left side and is able to scoop that up. No harm done. Hadenstein with possession, gets by the right back, but passes it right to Thompson. Again, Humber has numbers up front. Looking that time for Spratt, couldn't find her though, and again it will be given all the way back to Vanessa Fiore.
There's just a few early indications of what Durham's actually trying to do out here. They're using their defense really nicely to cross the field, move it up the wing, and they're looking for Rudder, and I think they're looking for an opportunity to give her a 50-50 ball with a little bit of space to run onto. Alex, their head coach, had alluded to something around the pace, maybe being the difference maker as well for this team. And just seeing Rudder run next to the D that are trying to mark right now, it looks like she can get the jump on them.
Definitely a storyline to watch in this one, but so far it has been all Humber as they have had the majority of the possession, majority of the scoring chances as well. Now will be a throw-in for Durham in their own end. Sydney Zeller finds teammate Shannon Brown. Brown loses possession of it just momentarily, though. She gets it once again, but now Humber again is going to go to Julia Zanardi. Zanardi's shot's going to be blocked and easily picked up by Steed. Another strong kick by Carrington Steed, and it will result in a Durham throw. A touch that time by Remy Pelletier goes out of bounds. It's with Hadenstein. Now Corey Lapointe will have a crack at the net, but that's going to go well wide as Vanessa Fiore picks it out for a goal kick. Now to Rudder. Finds Juris. And right in the hands once again of Vanessa Fiore. Stuchnoff the intended target. And now it's Spratt. Becky Spratt again going to that left side, looking for Stuchnoff just out of her reach and cleared away that time by Mackenzie Berry. Thompson's throw right to Stuchnoff. And off of number 18 of Durham, Shannon Brown, and out for a corner. Thompson's corner is going to go right to Piazza, but a fantastic save by Carrington Steed keeps this game scoreless.
What an opportunity for Humber. The striker read that ball perfectly. She got up well, won the ball in the air, and the keeper just got a touch on it.
Thompson trying to replicate that last corner. Does so well. Again, a opportunity for Humber, but Steed is able to get a touch on it, but it's not out yet. Medeiros looking to swing it right back in. And Durham is able to clear his line, but again, not out of trouble. Now it is. But getting to it first will be Humber for the throw-in. Stripped of the ball. Now Hadenstein looking at Rudder. Rudder trying to take it away from Phillip. Phillip does well to keep possession. It's with Piazza. Finds Zanardi. Piazza looking for Campbell. Gets deflected. Doesn't quite get there. Now Rudder. A flick on. Now to Ferreira. Ferreira is now in a foot race with Thompson. Thompson has to clear lines, and it's going to be out for a Durham throw deep in the Humber end.
Durham starting to build a little bit of pressure. Humber's had the better opportunities thus far. They moved the ball a little bit cleaner. They seem to have a touch more confidence. But Durham is not a team that should rest on their laurels. They just need to get settled in the match and start to bring their game.
Easily picked up that time by Fiore. Will push her team up. We've said it before, Humber's always ready for that next goal, always ready for that next attack. Stushnov now trying to keep that in. She has a step on Brown, trying to make a turn, and she does so successfully. Great move that time by Stushnov, has room, but that is given right to the Durham defense. Mackenzie Berry able to put that away. Medeiros can't make a move. On the Durham player, it's going to be a Durham throw off of Becky Spratt. Katarina Medeiros. Stushnov, another nice move, and she cannot find her teammate once again. Berry on the clearing end of that cross once again of Stushnov. Rudder hits it off of Thompson for a Durham throw, quickly given to Juris. Brown, plenty of time, plenty of space, elects to give the ball to her center back counterpart, Bailey Colangelo. Space for Medeiros. Lily Campbell now against Corey LaPointe on that far side. He lets to go back. Tori Beller. Piazza. And hit the frame of the goal after a touch of Carrington Steed. Another great chance for Humber. And another corner will come of it.
More sustained pressure from Humber. You're starting to see Durham break their formation. They're starting to defend in numbers just to relieve some of that pressure from Humber. It's leaving their strikers a little exposed. Rudder's already come back once or twice well into the midfield to help out. But as soon as she's doing that, there's no point to distribute that ball.
Again, Piazza the intended target, but a great play by the Durham defense to clear their zone. Hadenstein has nothing in front of her. Elects to just put the ball out of play. Humber going all the way back to Fiore LaPointe. Battling with Campbell. Campbell wins possession. Zanardi finds her teammate Ballart. That through ball intended for Stushnov, just a little bit out of her reach, and again, Steed will regain possession for Durham. That ball just ahead of intended target LaPointe. Still with possession LaPointe. Looking for Rudder, cannot quite get it to her. Ferreira again looking for Rudder. Rudder might be through, but Fiore picks that up before there's any other chance.
You can start to see that attacking prowess as Rudder. You understand that why she's up front and why she's the distribution person. She has the pace, and she's eager. She's eager to get that ball and find that opportunity.
Thompson, lots of time, lots of space in that back corner of her own end. Thompson finds Phillip. Back to Thompson. It will be a Durham throw, a missed touch by Taylor Thompson. Substitution, the first of the game, coming in for the Humber Hawks, Brianna Semfer.
And for the Hawks, number 8, Brianna Semfer.
Thompson with it in her own end. Looking for Phil once again. Dangerous area to give the ball away. Rudder has a chance. But
Wow.
Vanessa Fiore comes up huge for the Humber Hawks.
Great strike and an even better save. Definitely Durham's best chance of the game thus far, and that's what we've been waiting for. Get Rudder in the box, give her an opportunity, a 50-50 ball to run onto, or give her a 50-50 ball to strip the ball away from a defender and turn it into a scoring opportunity.
Durham starting to gain some momentum after that last chance. A foul committed by Piazza. That free kick easily dealt with by Humber. Now with space is Lily Campbell on that left side. Campbell still with possession, looking to get rid of it. Does to Medeiros. Medeiros looking for Zanardi. Colangelo just clears her line, but it's going to go right back into the Durham zone. Piazza finds Spratt on that right side with space. Spratt goes towards her left side and forces Carrington Steed to dive all the way to the post, but she does so effectively and has the ball in her hands.
It's the speed and the vision that Humber has when their midfielders are collecting that ball, looking up quickly, recognizing an opportunity to send the ball wide, and the fact that they're able to execute it in such a way that a winger or a striker is picking up that ball, it's just a couple steps above some of the other football that we've seen today.
Juris, if she's able to keep it in, will give Durham a great opportunity, and she does. Rudder may have gotten a bit of a touch on it, but nonetheless, Fiore has it in her hands. Looking for Medeiros. Piazza. Medeiros, and she's going to give that right back to Senfer. Foul, and it'll go in Durham's favor. Durham needed a big win against the Mohawk Mountaineers. 1-0 at home was the final on that one, and that was what clinched their spot to go to these OCAA Final Four championships. Humber, their path was a little easier. They beat the Sioux by a score of 13-0. Just knocked out of play by Mackenzie Berry, and it looks like Humber will make their second substitution. A right back substitution, Aaliyah Spence coming in for Taylor Thompson.
Now, Humber obviously eager for that first goal. They've
For
had the
Hawks,
pressure.
number 4, Aaliyah Spence.
They've had the pressure, and it's now 30 minutes into the match, and you think that they'd be able to convert that pressure into a little bit richer scoring opportunities, but it just hasn't been there. They haven't been able to string it together.
Senfer throws a ball towards the box, but right into the hands of Carrington Steed. Looking to play it quickly. Elects to hold on to it just a little longer. Looking for Hasenstein. Having to be quick was Pelletier. She does, but it gives it right to the Durham player. Piazza now has possession for Humber. Lily Campbell on that left side. Campbell looking for options. Senfer trying to make that run, cannot do so. Still with the Lily Campbell. Now she does give it to Senfer. Senfer working on Colangelo. Back to Lily Campbell. Campbell looking for Zanardi at the top of the box. Cannot quite get it to her. Corey Lapointe trying to find Rudder. Rudder with possession off of Piazza, and it will be a Durham throw. Lapointe giving chase to that ball, but Humber is able to win possession right back to Durham. Spence getting her first piece of action. Going on a bit of a run. She is able to find a teammate now with Medeiros. Medeiros goes back to Becky Spratt. Spratt goes to Piazza. Ferreira right on her back, and the intended target of Senfer just sails past her and into the hands of Steed.
I'm really liking Spratt's vision and distribution. She collects the ball, and almost before her first touch, she's already starting to scan where she's going to go or where that ball is going to go next. It just allows Humber to continue the momentum of their attack a little bit quicker.
Vanessa Juris has time, elects to go behind her to Sydney Zeller. But right in the feet of Becky Spratt, looking for Medeiros, finds her. And instead it will be going to Emily Coons, who tries to find her teammate Michaela Rudder. Ferreira. Defended by Medeiros, just kicks it out of play. And Durham will make their first substitution.
For the Lords, number 12,
Coming into the game for the Durham Lords, Jenna Wetherill replacing Corey Lapointe on that right side. A goal kick for Humber.
If the scoring attempt stats are anything like the possession, it's indicative of just the momentum of the game leaning slightly more in Humber's direction. Humber with 10 scoring opportunities, converting 6 into shots. Durham with just 5, converting just 2 of those chances into shots on net.
Wetherill getting her first piece of action and cannot get past Tori Ballart. Ballart with a lot of room, elects to take all of it. Looking for Lily Campbell, gets deflected by Senfer and out of play for a Durham throw. Just about 10 minutes remain in half number 1, still 0-0.
Not dissimilar to most of the matches we've seen today.
Yeah, we have not seen a goal earlier than the 41st minute of play. A lot of these teams haven't seen each other before, just a bit of a feeling out process, and the second half has been much more high scoring. We saw in the last game we broadcasted, Seneca versus Redeemer. It was 0-0 at half. Final was 4-0 for Seneca. Senfer now looking for Medeiros. Medeiros has time. She's trying to find Becky Spratt. Spratt with the room, but Vanessa Juris right on her. Aaliyah Spence. Medeiros going to try and find Spence once again. The right back getting in the action. And Becky Spratt was wide open, but lifted her foot just a little bit too high. And it will be a Durham throw.
Yeah, the buildup is definitely there. It's just that final step in the process that Humber hasn't been able to string together, but you do get the sense that it could be coming.
Ferreira working on two different defenders from Humber. Becky Spratt ends up taking the ball from her. Zanardi with possession. And a free kick given to Humber in a dangerous position. Claudia Piazza taking it. Looks for a goal, and it's going to find the back of the net from about 40 yards.
Goal by number 13, Claudia Piazza.
I don't think anybody quite expected that to slip under the bar. Goalkeeper saw it coming in, made a clean attempt, and it just seemed to be diving at the right pace just to slip in. Durham looks a little shell-shocked right now. They need to collect their composure and counter quickly.
Steve, right as she saw it go in, put her head down, and a teammate ran to comfort her. But nonetheless, it is 1-0 for Humber after a free kick goal by Claudia Piazza. Spence finds Medeiros. Medeiros, and right on her was Juris. Phillip finds Medeiros with space. Off of Zeller, and it will be another Humber throw.
Well, we've seen it throughout the day. That first goal has been a catalyst in most of the games for some sort of tactical change or some sort of major change in the momentum of the game. It'd be interesting to see what both coaches do as we start to walk towards the end of the first half. Will they make any tactical changes now? Do they stick to the game plan and sit and wait?
Piazza wins that ball over Fiera. Finds Medeiros. Aaliyah Spence with space. Goes back to Piazza. Zanardi elects to have a go on net. And maybe it's going to be common for Humber players to, once they cross that 35-yard mark, to see if you can test Carrington Steed.
Well, now's the time to do it. Right after a goalkeeper traditionally makes one small mistake, they're most susceptible at that point. So Humber's thinking, it's now or never. Let's see if we can get a second one before half. If Humber was able to do that, they would take a lot of the wind out of the Durham sails.
Julia Zanardi once again looking for Becky Spratt. Nice move by Spratt. Fakes the shot, looking for Senfoff. Medeiros trying to get enough room to take a shot, but elects to go to Zanardi. Now to Claudia Piazza. Lily Campbell cannot find another white shirt. It will go all the way back. Zanardi with possession. Elects to go to her center back. Spence with possession. Becky Spratt trying to find Spence. Instead, it'll go right to Senfoff, who lands right on Carrington Steed and Bailey Colangelo. No injuries on the play. All three players get up. Sydney Zeller, that heavy touch, and Becky Spratt jumps on that right away. Becky Spratt with lots of space now in front of her. Looking towards the middle of the goal, and a great save by Carrington Steed. A bit of a weak shot by number 8, Brianna Senfer.
You must think that Senfer wants that opportunity back again. The ball in the box, right there, open net, and she's got a lot of net to work with, and she just puts it in a little soft and at the keeper.
Medeiros finds Zanardi. Claudia Piazzi calls for it. Lots of space in front of her. Senfer looking for number 5, Tori Ballard, that left back, and it will be offside. Piazza looking for Lily Campbell. Becky Spratt now with it, and a great save by Carrington Steed, and makes another one on Medeiros. Piazza now with possession once again. Still with Piazza. Finds Aaliyah Spence. Aaliyah Spence with room to cross, but gets dispossessed by Juris, but Spence gets it once again. Phillip looking for Medeiros. Right on her is Ferreira. Zanardi trying to find Lily Campbell, but right there to steal that was Wetherill. Hazenstein elects to go behind her and still working on Dominica Phillip. It will be a Durham throw.
In for the Lords, number 3, Kaylin Wright.
Quick forward sub for the Durham Lords. Kaylin Wright replacing Michaela Ruddert. Senfer goes to Zanardi. Zanardi finds Medeiros with space. Back to Piazza.
Again, you see that really clever ball movement by Humber in the middle. Just those quick little touches, 5-yard passes, and continuing to move that ball forward.
Medeiros gets it from Spratt, looking for Senfer in the middle. Spratt may be away once again. Spratt has space, but another great save by Carrington Steed, who has been called upon multiple times in the past 5 minutes. And besides that little lapse with that free kick from Piazza, has been very sharp. Free kick against Humber, and Claudia Piazza not happy about that call. Vanessa Juris will be taking the free kick for the Lords. Looks to be just a minute of added time in this game. Juris elects to have a go at net, and Vanessa Fiore had that one all covered. It will be just over her goal for a goal kick.
You can do your job better.
It's going to go all the way back to the Humber side. Phillip. And instead it's going to be Kaylin Wright, but a handball by Wright prior to her shot is going to halt play. Unfortunate for Durham.
A bit unlucky for the striker there. Finally, the first opportunity to get a clean strike on net. When she does, she strikes it like she knows exactly where she wants it to go. Execute it well as the whistle's blown. It's a little bit of a deflation there.
Aaliyah Spence is able to get possession. She has room on that right side. Looking for Senfer, can't find her. Juris is going to give it right to Piazza. Piazza can't handle that pass. And now it's Wetherill. Wetherill finds Wright. Wright looking to go back to Wetherill, but instead is dispossessed. Lily Campbell.
Well, as much as Humber has maintained that possession and had a few more scoring chances, Durham has shown a lot of quality in the first half. They're a side that looks like they can transition, looks like they can score. It's really almost a bit of a mistake that Humber is ahead by. I wouldn't count Durham out of this quite yet.
As we reach the halftime break, it is Humber 1, Durham 0 after 45. And Michael, like you said, there is not a whole lot to split these two sides. A couple of chances for each side. Humber may have had the majority of them, but Durham certainly has been given reason to think that they are still in this game. 1-0 this final as we are heading into the halftime break, and we'll have more of quarterfinal Ready to begin half number 2 of this final quarterfinal, the final half of the day between Durham and Humber. Humber was able to take that 1-0 lead in a halftime thanks to a long free kick from Claudia Piazza. And that's the only thing we have to report on the scoreboard. And we're off for half number 2 here at Redeemer University College. Humber with possession with Aaliyah Spence. Spence will go to Pelletier. LaPointe trying to find her teammate Kaylin Wright, does so. Now it's with Rudder. Wright will have a shot at goal, but Vanessa Fiore will handle that with ease. Lily Campbell, lots of room in the left back position. Touched by Wetherill, back to Rudder, and right back to Rudder. Now it is with number 23, Christina Carvalho. Emily Coons, but it's going to go right to the feet of Claudia Piazza. And on that right side, it is now Becky Spratt. Spratt with speed and trying to find her teammate, number 20, Stushnoff, in the middle, cannot do so. And Carrington Steed had to make a save off the redirection.
Really quick start to the second half. Both teams coming out hot. You could hear Alex Bianchi talking to his team at halftime about the power of one mistake, one opportunity, and they're back in it. Really pumping them up because this is do or die. The winner goes on Friday to play against Seneca. He needs his team to be ready to capitalize on that one Humber mistake because they are good enough to equalize against this Humber powerhouse.
And there were a couple of mistakes by Humber that almost did turn into some scoring opportunities. One certainly did, and Vanessa Fiore had to be on her toes off of a great shot by Michaela Rudder in half number 1. Now it's with Kaylin Wright. Fieri still with possession. And trying to shield her off his Aaliyah Spence, does so successfully. Medeiros. But that will go all the way back to number 20 in green, Mackenzie Berry. Coons finds Ferreira once again. And that'll be out of play for a Humber throw.
Durham still sticking with their starting formation with 4 at the back and 1 holding. It'd be interesting to see how, as this second half progresses, when do they start to take a few more risks, bring some more players forward?
The one switch is that Hasenstein, who started up front, is now playing that holding role. So they have another attacking player, but currently playing a defensive role. Becky Spratt now with it for Humber on that right side. She gets by her defender. Becky Spratt again will put it right towards Carvalho. She's trying to make a turn, trying to get something in the box, and she can't do so. Becky Spratt back to back. Great moves to get a cross in, but once again, Humber cannot quite use that to their advantage.
Humber seems to look to that right side often. They know that Spratt's there. They know how effective she is and the percentages that she's bringing out. If you're bringing that ball out to that side, there's a highly likelihood that it's coming back into a scoring opportunity into the middle, further up the field.
And Spratt's trying to use that right side once again. Nothing there, so she elects to go to Zanardi. Piazza gets stopped up by Hasenstein. That cross to Carvalho, but right there is Sydney Zeller. Colangelo gets that out of the zone, but right to the foot of Katarina Medeiros. Campbell looking for Carvalho. Piazza gets a touch in to Remy Pelletier. Hadenstein has to reach for that, and quickly on her is Medeiros. Intended for Kaylin Wright, not to her.
It's not just the speed that Humber has when they have the ball and how quickly they're distributing it. It's how quickly they're closing Durham down. Durham's a fantastic team, almost an equal powerhouse, but they just don't have the time to build any of these plays and get the ball transitioned up the field.
Humber has certainly been the team with the most possession in this one, and another scoring chance now. Lily Campbell bringing it into the box, but a good block by Durham and punched out of the zone now with Hazenstein. Still with Hadenstein, worked on by Piazza, and Medeiros will just kick that out of play. Kaylin Wright and Lily Campbell battling for that 50-50 will be going towards Durham's way. Zeller's throw is going to go to Wetherill, but taken quickly by Lily Campbell, and now Durham have to retreat back. Steed will kick that long, but it's going to go right to Zanardi. Mackenzie Barry trying to find a teammate, does find Emily Coons. Now Michaela Rudder, now Durham can string some passes together. Lily Campbell gets to that ball just ahead of Wetherill. Hit that out of play, and it will be a Durham throw deep in the Humber end. To Sydney Zeller. Wetherill trying to go to Emily Coons, finds her. Back to Zeller. And that is going to go straight to Vanessa Fiore. And Humber gets possession through their goalkeeper. Cleared well by Colangelo, but again, right to the feet of a Humber player. Pelletier finds Piazza in the middle, looking for Medeiros, but pickpocketed by Kaylin Wright. Now it's Cora LaPointe working on Aaliyah Spence, gets to her outside, looking for a cross. Now Kaylin Wright has space to have a shot. She likes to take one, and Vanessa Fiore is able to gobble that up, diving towards her left.
Fiore's quite an experienced keeper. I think she's going to be really tough to beat. Durham does need to come up with something a little bit more special. She plays here in the OCAA. She also plays in the League One, as in the semi-pro league in Ontario. She's had multiple years in the OCAA. I just think that this team needs a breakthrough, needs to get behind the D so that it's striker on keeper for them to be able to beat her.
A Kaylin Wright shot did beat Fiore, but that one was whistled as offside. But now Wetherill will have a chance. Michaela Rudder, is not able to get to that one in time and just hit out of bounds by Pelletier. Zeller's throw, right the intended target, didn't quite get to her. Colangelo just used the safe play, hits it out of play, and it will be a Humber throw. Emma Stushnov. Zanardi finds Stushnov. Couple too many touches for Stushnov, and stolen by Hadenstein, but Piazza will get the ball again. Medeiros. And that is going to whistle wide of Carrington Steed's goal.
Great cut into the middle. Her eyes were on that top left corner, and she sent it just a few feet wide. Perfectly struck ball. If that had been a little bit lower, it could have been the goal of the tournament.
Steed, that goal kick's going to go straight to Becky Spratt, off of Spratt and out of play. Spence finds Julia Zanardi. Spratt finds Zanardi once again, and Spratt's away on that right side. Cutting towards that left side, still with Spratt. Durham now with possession. Piazza dispossesses Michaela Rudder, now looking for Lily Campbell with room on that left side. Lily Campbell elects to have a shot, but right into the hands of Carrington Steed. Rudder trying to find Kaylin Wright. But it's going to go back to Michaela Rudder. Cannot quite keep possession, and Natasha Hadenstein will kick that all the way down to the end of the Humber end for a deep throw-in inside their own end.
Some words from the sideline from Alex Biacchini, starting to make some minor fine-tuning to the positioning of the team, telling his holding midfielder that she is not holding, move it up the field, it's time to attack.
That formation may start be turning into a 4-5-1 instead of that 4-1-4-1. Carvalho is able to find Spratt. Spratt with speed once again. Taken down by Coons. Coons doesn't like the call, and instead is going to get a yellow card.
It's a good decision by Jessica Patton there, the officiating referee. Right close to the play. You could see that there wasn't really a play on the ball. It was a man-to-man play just to stop the player.
And you have to imagine that Carrington Steed is expecting a shot from Claudia Piazza. This is pretty much exactly the spot where she hit it last time. She elects for the shot and just over top of the bar.
There wasn't much difference between that one and the one that just dipped a little bit quicker and took her by surprise last time.
Steed much happier with this result than the past one. Carrington Steed calls off her center back. Hazenstein battling with Zanardi, given to Claudia Piazza. Now to Campbell, playing that left back position, formerly the left midfielder. Zanardi with possession, looking to go to Becky Spratt. Spratt looking for room to get across, trying to find Carvalho off the top of the crossbar, and still in play and cleared off the line by Colangelo.
That's a couple quick, close calls by Humber. As Durham starts to open up their attack, as they start to bring their forwards, now with 3 strikers in the field, it gives Humber the opportunity to punish them at the back. This game should open up a lot more as Durham takes more and more chances to equalize.
What an opportunity for recently subbed in Christina Caravello, hitting it off the frame of the goal, off a great header and a great move by Becky Spratt. And now Caravello might have another opportunity. She has room on that left side, looking to cross. She does get that ground cross, but it will be blocked by Colangelo. Lily Campbell finds Medeiros. Piazza cannot handle that. Humber still with possession. Stushnoff. Medeiros hits it first time, but Carrington Steed squares up and is able to handle that.
A little bit of a tricky ball coming in, curling as it's spinning. She needed to just get her body in front of it to control it before trying to grab it.
Medeiros takes that down well. Again, they're going to use Christina Carvello. No foul against Colangelo, but nonetheless, Steed has possession. Dominic Phillip will draw the foul.
Yeah, that's a good call. She had gone to ground before making that final attempt on the ball.
Vanessa Fiore, no problem taking this free kick well outside of her goal area. Now with it is Becky Spratt, finds Medeiros. That ball not to the intended target. Coons, a nice move, and is able to find right. Looking for Hadenstein, that's going to go right to the foot of Aaliyah Spence, but she gives it up right to Corey LaPointe. LaPointe will just send that back into the Humber end, easily picked up by Spence. It's going to be Mackenzie Berry, but Becky Spratt, or excuse me, Emma Stushnoff, blocks that and is able to give Humber yet another scoring opportunity, now with a throw-in inside the Durham end.
The game's really starting to go end to end. It's great soccer to watch. Both teams looking to secure that next goal. One to put the game away, and one to get them right back at level.
Becky Spratt, the intended target, is instead going to go to Stushnoff. Stushnoff trying to get by a couple of Lord's defenders. Instead, it'll be Aaliyah Spence retrieving to throw it in once again. Zanardi finds Becky Spratt. Looking for Medeiros. Stushnoff. And that final touch just a little bit too heavy, and that's what's going to give Durham possession, although it will be a Humber corner after Mackenzie Berry had to save the day and get that out of play.
Well, in true Humber fashion, they have no intention on sitting back and trying to defend a 1-0 lead. That's not Humber's style. Humber is going to attack and attack.
Medeiros with it at the top of the penalty area and blocked that time by Shannon Brown. Emily Coons with space in front of her, but quickly being chased by Piazza. Piazza wins possession, and now it's with Julia Zanardi. Medeiros with time, thought she had a little bit more space than she thought, and instead it will be a Humber free kick in a very dangerous area.
Yeah, Emily Coons had lost that ball trying to distribute it up the field, and you could see first tackle to second tackle, she was chasing that ball down, player or ball, and she ended up committing the foul in a little bit of an irresponsible spot.
The goal scorer, Claudia Piazza, lining up to take this free kick, a 4-man wall for Durham, as well as Medeiros on that left side. A pass, and it's going to go to Zanardi, but a fantastic save by Steed.
Really clever play. It's almost as if they had done that several times in practice. Both players knew where that ball was going for that second opportunity.
That set piece nearly resulted in another finish for Humber Zanardi shooting one, but a fantastic save by Steed, who has been up to the task all game long. That corner by Humber is going to go off the crossbar, and it will be a goal kick.
Durham making their first change here. It'll be interesting to see if that affects the formation at all. They've already pulled 3 forwards up to the top of the formation. Coach has been on the sidelines urging that top striker to stick to the Humber last defender, not get sucked back, trust the players behind them to feed them those opportunities.
Jessica Ferreira coming back on for the Durham Lords, replacing number 15, Cord LaPointe. Steed, her goal kick is going to go off of a Humber player and go Durham's way for a throw-in. Just over 20 minutes played in half number 2. Humber still lead by a score of 1-0 off of a goal by Claudia Piazza.
Sheridan, Fanshawe, and Seneca, of course, already through to the semifinal matches on Friday. Winner of this game will meet Seneca there.
Stushnov decides to put that towards the middle of the box, and a great opportunity for Humber. Ball still in play. Piazza wins that one, and it will be Lily Campbell with an opportunity. Still a space. She elects to shoot, but Steed is able to get to that one in time. Medeiros gets by right. Medeiros looking for Carvalho, but it will be deflected by that back line. Medeiros with lots of space in the middle of the pitch. Looking for Becky Spratt. She may be away. Becky Spratt, and another great save by Steed.
Well, Becky definitely looks like she's really hungry today. She's been feeding a lot of opportunities in, and she's been on the doorstep a couple times herself.
Zanardi set to take the corner for Humber. The in-swinging ball and threatening for the Durham goal, but it will be out of play off of a Humber player. A couple substitutions, one for either team. A couple of starters coming back into the game, Vanessa Juris and Taylor Thompson seeing their first bit of action in half number 2.
Onto the field for the Lords, number 13, Vanessa Juris.
Steed looking for Juris, cannot find her. Carvalho intercepts. She has room in front of her. Now to Spratt. Spratt on her left foot. Will get it once again. And Spratt will put it away. Fantastic finish. A 1-2 play between Spratt and Carvalho results in a 2-0 Humber lead.
Well, again, really great play by Humber. They're quick with that ball movement, even in those tricky spots. Right up in the field, under a lot of pressure from Durham. You kind of felt like one of these teams were on the doorstep. Both teams going end-to-end with opportunities. And as Durham takes more chances, Humber was looking to counter.
Becky Spratt has had so many opportunities, had set up so many people. She was certainly due for getting her name on the scoreboard, and that's exactly what happened. 2-0 Humber lead Durham in this quarterfinal game. The winner of this one will be playing Seneca, who were able to get by Redeemer 4-0. Now with it is Mackenzie Berry. Hazenstein trying to muscle her way through. Pelletier finds teammate Piazza. Zanardi. Spratt looking towards the middle to Stushnov, but it's going to be easily collected by Colangelo.
Rebecca Spratt of the Hawks with that last goal.
Lots of room here for Carvalho. Carvalho elects to go beside her. Looking for Medeiros, cannot find her. Now with Aaliyah Spence. Aaliyah Spence now with it on that Durham end. Medeiros finds Spence. That final touch just not close enough to herself to get a shot off. Phillip goes to Medeiros, looking for Carvalho, not on the same page, and just hit out of play by Sydney Zeller.
Clever little Meg there from Medeiros, just waiting for that defender to set and plant her feet, putting it right through the legs to feed her striker. Really clever, but also really confident, indicative of what Humber style is, their attacking style, and how they've been able to keep possession most of the game.
Coons goes on a bit of a run, but a great defensive play that time by Remy Pelletier. Ferreira is going to go back to Coons, looking for Hasenstein in the middle, can't find her. Mackenzie Barry is going to go all the way back and retrieve that for a Durham throw.
Shots are 20-3, just so you know. And that's not attempts, that's actual saves and goals.
She has diabetes, so she has to come off of the 20. Tore ACL near really out.
It's going to be a Humber throw, Julia Zanardi. Hasenstein trying to chase that one down, and eventually is going to get possession. It's going to be a free kick after the foul by Taylor Thompson.
Yeah, it just felt like there was a little bit of a tug on an arm or a jersey just to hold her back a bit there. Durham starting to try to build something here. You almost think they need to break that back four just to bring another body forward. Their shots are only tallied at 3 so far in the game, which it's tricky to level a 2-0 game with 3 shots on net. While Humber has already surpassed 20 shots.
Mackenzie Barry set to cross this one in. A dangerous area. That's going to go right towards Fiore. She's not going to get a shot. Emily Coons will, though. And that will go just over top of the frame of the net. Emma Stushnoff is going to be replaced by number 8, Brianna Senfer.
And for the Hawks, number 8, Brianna Senfer.
Fieri is able to take that goal kick, but right away is Medeiros regaining possession again, is going to try and find Carvalho. She does. Now lots of room on that left side. Carvalho. A creative ball trying to find Medeiros, but it's going to go well outside the penalty area for a Humber throw. Medeiros with possession. Finds Senfer. Now a Spratt. Spratt gets by her defender. Spratt looking for Medeiros, and she's going to take a shot. That's going to go still in play as it had a bit of a curl on it. Still with Carvalho now. It's going to be a corner kick for Humber, still with that relentless pressure. We said they weren't going to sit on a 1-0 lead. I guess they're not going to sit on a 2-0 lead either.
No, just with about 15, 16 minutes to go here, Humber just keeps on pouring the pressure.
Zanardi looking towards goal, but deflected away for another corner. That was Colangelo getting that final touch. It doesn't really seem like Humber's in any rush to get this corner kick off. Carvalho set to take it. Headed away by Durham, but not out of trouble yet. Medeiros looking to take a stab at it, is not able to get to it. Phillip put that right in back into a dangerous area. Senfer all alone. And she's going to hit it well wide of the net. Zeller is going to go to Juris. On her is Aaliyah Spence. Kaylin Wright. Aaliyah Spence now with it. Dominic Phillip. Zeller just hits that outfield to Dominic Phillip. Medeiros looking upfield. Now Senfer will give chase to it. Bailey Colangelo will hit it off of Senfer for a Durham throw.
Durham now playing with 3 clear strikers, also spreading the field really wide with outlets. Obviously adding a little bit of risk at the back, but now's the time to do it. And as they get the ball forward, they're able to collect it and distribute it a lot easier.
Zeller is looking to Mackenzie Berry. Emily Coons is not able to retrieve that. It'll be a Humber throw. Taylor Thompson will take it for Humber. Finds Spratt. Claudia Piazza finds Medeiros. Trying to send Senfer, but it's going to go right into the hands of Carrington Steed.
Well, the green shirts have gotten awfully quiet out there. You're just not feeling that they're digging a little deeper to see what can happen. When they get the ball, there's calls for the passes, but when they're defending, they're just not helping each other as much as they were earlier in the game. They need to dig a little deeper. They are the type of team that's capable of getting back in this game.
Medeiros, a lot of space in front of her as she nears the Durham third, but a good play by Colangelo. Piazza has room, looks for Carvalho. Medeiros, again with plenty of space, again will find Carvalho. Nice move by Carvalho, still has space, and she finds Senfer. Senfer will take a shot and bury that one. 3-0 Humber as Brianne Senfer gets her first of the game.
Well, it was
Goal scored by number 8 for the Hawks, Brianna Senfer.
Well, it was a bit of a long ball towards the corner, and they really needed to race down to collect it. But the fact that Humber brought that ball back, squared it up into the middle, took a little bit of a look for an extra second, and thought, okay, there's the opportunity. Striker receives the ball in the middle, sees that far corner, and just puts it there. It looked really simple for them.
Brianna Senfer missed an opportunity not 3 minutes ago and was able to bury this one. So 3-0 Humber as we approach the later part of this quarterfinal action.
Lords, number 15, Corey Lapointe, and number 23, Morgan Bland.
Cindy Zeller. That's going to be just out of play. It'll be a Humber throw. Now with it is Aaliyah Spence. Finds Medeiros. Senfer is going to have another go. Steed is able to gobble that one up. Piazza, heavy touch, but can find Thompson in that right back position. Now with it is Becky Spratt. Medeiros finds Spence. It'll be a foul committed against Carvalho. Durham will retain possession.
Well, Durham's not a team that's very used to having 3 goals scored against them, Zach. With an average of just 1.1 goals against all season long, it says a lot to the caliber of who they're playing against today. Humber scores goals. Humber's a big team, and they do not stop attacking. 3 goals up, and they don't look like they're letting off any of the pressure.
Humber is making another change. We have number 21 coming in
And
for the Hawks, Nilda
number
Correa,
21, Nilda Correa.
replacing number 10, Katarina Medeiros, who is certainly busy and one of the centerpieces of this Hawks offense. Taylor Bland has possession, finds Ferreira. Ferreira's going to go all the way back to Colangelo. Shanna Brown has space in front of her, elects to use it. Kaylin Wright is going to be looking for Hasenstein, but blocked by Thompson. Piazza finds Correa. Correa looking at Senfer. Spence now with it on that left side. Correa will get it now in that penalty area and just deflected out of play by Sydney Zeller.
Just under 10 minutes to go. Durham is going to need to dig a little deeper to find something special to get back in this. If the scoreline were to remain the same, all the big 3 teams are making it through. Fanshawe, Seneca, and Humber, and they look like they're all forces to be reckoned with. It'll be really interesting when some of these teams start meeting each other on Friday.
LaPointe. And now it's going to go to Piazza. Piazza looking for Carvalho. And that'll be just out of play for a Durham throw. A couple substitutions now for the Durham Lords. A keeper substitution, and the first time we've seen that. Carrington Steed certainly was active in this game. Jenna King will be replacing her.
Number 1, Jenna King, and number 21, Sierra Bartley.
Jenna King, the 5th-year player. Ferreira intercepted, and with plenty of room is Piazza. Looking for Carvalho, but dug up well by Durham. Emily Coons taking a look at Corey LaPointe, but right there is Taylor Thompson, or excuse me, Remy Pelletier. Coons, her throw intended for LaPointe, not going to get to her. Thompson will just put that out of play once again.
Interesting change that Alex Bianchi just made by pulling Carrington Steed and putting Jenna King in. Highly likely that the coach is starting to think that it's unlikely that his team's going to make it back out of the 3-0 pit. Obviously, King, as a 5th-year student, is not coming back next year. She has been the primary keeper for this team in previous years. She may just be finishing out her career on the pitch.
Bianchi, a player's coach, as you see that time, making that substitution in favor of the veteran goalkeeper. Zanardi. Now it's with Piazza. Piazza goes to Aaliyah Spence on that left fullback position. Still with the dispense. Still with the dispense. And she just could not get by Bailey Colangelo. Right, that heavy touch. Not able to get by Phillip. She does get by Phillip, and Piazza. Foul committed by Damika Phillip.
Humber has looked like the stronger of the two sides throughout most of the match, but for Durham to go away without a goal, it doesn't quite seem just. They have had their opportunities. They're an incredibly strong team. They deserve to be here, and normally they're a team that's going on.
Durham just unfortunate to be given Humber in their first round matchup. Taylor Bland, and it will go out for a Durham corner. As we approach the later stage of this game, if Durham was ever going to mount a comeback, now would be a perfect time to start.
I believe the Durham coach called it a David and Goliath match, and he liked his chances. He felt that with Jessica back, with the keeper, that they had a chance. And early on, for most of the first half, it looked like they could keep Humber from scoring.
A threatening cross, but it's going to be hit aside by Humber. Now with it is Ferreira at the back. Offside as Emily Coons receives that ball after being in an offside position.
Well, as you said earlier, Zach, if the score line stands and as the minutes get into the last five, it looks like it's becoming more likely. Humber will face Seneca, and what a matchup that'll be on Friday. Two powerhouses, two teams that score a lot of goals, two teams that move the ball really well. The real question is, of the two of them, if one of them's likely to meet Fanshawe in a final, there's a lot of soccer to be played, but can either of them take that number one nationally ranked team down?
Seneca ranked 4th nationally. Humber ranked 11th, the number 10 ranked national team. Algonquin was eliminated a couple games ago by the Sheridan Bruins. A lot of good teams left in this tournament. 5 left, 4 after this game concludes. Seneca awaiting the winner of this game. Took down Redeemer 4-0. In earlier action, Fanshawe beat Niagara 2-0. And Sheridan outlasted Algonquin by a score of 1-0.
And I don't mean for anyone to count their chickens, Zach. The Niagara coach said it best this morning. He's won a lot of games that he should have lost, and he's lost a lot of games that he should have won. And in a do-or-die situation where it's just 90 minutes on the clock, we've seen teams hold back behemoths like Redeemer today holding back Seneca for the entire first half.
It looks like just 2 minutes of injury time will be added at the conclusion of the 90. Aaliyah Spence looking downfield, trying to find Carrero. Now it's with Senfer. Senfer just bringing it to the corner and seeing how long she can keep it there. Still with it is Senfer. Correa trying to find Senfer once again, but it's going to be kicked aside by Bland.
Like we said earlier, it is Humber's nature. It's their style. They will attack to the end. It's almost looking like with a 3-goal lead, they're playing with 2 defensemen and two defensive midfielders in a holding position.
Piazza looks to have one at goal, and Jenna King forced to make her first stop of the game. LaPointe all alone up top. Now has numbers as Emily Kuhn retrieves that ball. Kuhn is trying to get one back into the box and does. LaPointe tries to make a turn. Too many bodies with white jerseys on around her to make anything happen. Vanessa Fiore.
Well, the players on the pitch here do have the benefit of being able to see that 20 seconds left on the scoreboard. They know what the score line is, 3-0. It's really difficult to muster up a lot in the last few seconds, but I think that Durham should really hold their heads high.
Carvalho now finds Spence. Spence gets by her defender. Spence looking for a cross, trying to find Senford. She'll get it once again, still with Spence. Referee calls it dead. It's going to be a corner kick for Humber. Carvalho in absolutely no rush to take this corner. Carvalho, but it was well defended by Durham. Piazza will just take this to the corner and see how long she can keep it there.
Humber more than happy just to keep the ball in that forward corner in the last 2 minutes of this match. They know they're in the position of the win.
Piazza will have a shot at net, easily picked up by Jenna King, and you got to assume that the whistle will be very soon by head referee Jessica. Throw in Durham's favor. And that is going to confirm it. 3-0 the final in this one between Humber and their Toronto counterparts Durham.
Final score 3-0 for the Humber.
Very exciting game. Humber playing a very attacking game all game long, and we said it that Durham up until around the 60th minute when that goal by Spratt went in is when Durham really put their heads down and had nothing left. We didn't really see a whole lot of get up and go in them, and Durham will be eliminated from this competition. The reigning bronze medalists will be going home earlier than expected. Humber moving on to the semifinal, to play the Seneca Sting.
Tough situation for Durham to come here and play against Humber. They're a powerhouse. They always make it to a final or a semifinal. To draw them in the first round, having been a team that's a bronze medalist in the last tournament, it's hard luck. But they knew what they were coming into, and I think they performed really well today. Humber, on the other hand, they've got momentum. They look like they could easily be one of the teams to beat, if not the team to beat in the tournament.
Just awaiting the players of the game for each team in this game between Durham and Humber. Durham, I would be shocked if it wasn't the goalkeeper, Carrington Steed. And my vote for Humber would probably be Becky Spratt for Humber. Carrington Steed for Durham would be my choices. Carrington Steed faced a lot of soccer balls.
Hey, Pete.
Fans, please direct your attention to the score table as we announce the players of the game from today's match. For Durham, number 30, Carrington Steed. And for Humber, number 11, Becky Spratt.
Becky Spratt and Carrington Steed are confirmed the players of the game in this one between Durham and Humber, in which Humber came away with a 3-0 final score, meeting Seneca in the semifinal. It has been an action-packed day of soccer, starting at 10 and ending here late in the evening, 7:30 here in Ancaster. It's been a thrilling day and one that I have had the pleasure to talk about as well, Michael, and we hope that you tune in Friday for all the semifinal games. 12:30 you can watch Sheridan take on Fanshawe, and at 3:30 you can watch Humber try their luck against the Seneca Sting. We hope you all have a great rest of your night.